Good morning. Today, we are in Kakogawa City, Hyogo Prefecture. We are currently at Anu no Matsu Station. Kakogawa City is a city located in the southern part of Hyogo Prefecture. If you head west, you'll reach Himeji, and if you head east, you'll reach Kobe, making it a very conveniently located place. As the name suggests, the Kakogawa River flows here. Wherever there is a river, people tend to live. Because of this, it is known that people have lived in this area since around the Jomon period. The Anu no Matsu station where I am now is written over there, and it's a Sanyo electric railway station. In Kakogawa City, the Sanyo Electric Railway main line runs along the coastal side, and we are currently around here. A bit further inland runs the Sanyo main line, and Kakogawa Station, the city's main hub, is over here. It's a bit far from where we are now, but today I'll be walking around Kakogawa with someone from a company that works here in Kakogawa. So first, I'll head toward the meeting spot near Kakogawa Station. I just looked it up, and it seems like the usual way to get there would be by bus. However, this time, as you can see, I've rented a bicycle, so I'll be heading there by bike. So, I'm departing from Anu no Matsu Station. The direction I'm heading in now is east. The sunrise is beautiful. Kakogawa Station is to the north from here, but I want to make a little detour, so I'm heading south. In this video, we'll be exploring how people in Kakogawa used to live. Now, if you look at the map on the bottom right, you can see that we're not far from Anu no Matsu Station where we started. In this area, actually, there's something interesting. You can see it coming up on the right. It's coming into view now. As we move a bit further ahead, you'll notice a suggestive-looking object here. It's probably a wheel, but right next to it, you can see a sign saying site of the former Kokutetsu Takasago Line Anu Station. In the past, around this area, there was a railway line called the Takasago Line. If you look at a current map of where the Takasago line once ran, it started from the port area, reaching Takasago Station, then Takasago Kitaguchi Station, and then Anu Station, which is where we are now. It then turned northward, passing Kakoranji and Noguchi, finally arriving at Kakogawa Station. That was the former Kokutetsu Takasago line. As you can see, I'm currently using a bicycle, but in the past, it seems you could travel here by train. If you head south from Kakogawa, you'll reach the Seto Inland Sea, and many ships used to pass through here in the past. Originally, goods were transported up the Kakogawa River by boat. However, with modernization, that role was taken over by the railways. In other words, goods were brought to Takasago by ship, and from there, transported by train. The tracks that once ran here were probably, most likely along this road. I believe the tracks ran along here. However, the role that the railways played was eventually taken over by automobiles. As cars developed and became more widespread, as you can see, there are many cars passing through here now, and goods are now transported by light trucks like these. For this reason, the Takasago line, once a part of daily life for the people of Kakogawa, was shut down. If you look at the current map, you'll see that the curve I just mentioned is still visible here as a large turn. But it's all become a road now. So, I'll be heading to Kakogawa Station while following the path where the former Kokutetsu Takasago line used to run. Let's depart from the area where the old Anu station of the Takasago line used to be. To the left, you can see the electric wires. Those are the power lines of the Sanyo Electric Railway main line I mentioned earlier. If you look at the Sanyo Electric Railway main line marked in blue on the map at the bottom right, and the red Takasago line path I'm following now, you can see they cross. If you look ahead, you can see the train running above, and the old Takasago line path I'm on now below, showing where they used to cross. The section I just passed, which looks like a tunnel, was made of old-looking bricks. Earlier, where I started this video, Anu no Matsu Station is over there. Oh, you can't see it on the screen. That elevated bridge part is the station, and right after leaving the station, there's this slope, like this. Normally, right after leaving the station, you wouldn't be going fast, so it's odd to have a slope here. After climbing up the slope, you go down again right over there. I wonder why it's like this. Now it seems pointless, but there used to be tracks running here. And because of the great separation, there's a small hill-like structure here. As I continue following the path of the former Takasago line, I can see something ahead, up above. That is the Sanyo Shinkansen. As I mentioned earlier, when there's a slope, trains lose speed while climbing, so railways tend to avoid slopes as much as possible. For the same reason, they also tend to avoid curves. But if you look at the current map, you'll see the red line curving northward. The path I'm following now continues to curve because just beyond this curve is Kakogawa Station, and the path is curving toward the station. Earlier, a Shinkansen passed from right to left, and now you can see the tracks of the Sanyo Shinkansen above me. If you look at the backside of the Sanyo Shinkansen tracks, you can see black stains like this. Maybe it's clearer from a bit farther away. You can see it like this. What's happening here is on the road below. Diesel cars used to pass through, and the exhaust gas is stuck here, leaving behind these stains that are still visible today. Now, let's continue heading north. As you travel around Japan, you'll see many shrines. These are Shinto facilities. On the other hand, temples are Buddhist facilities. Originally, Japan had a religion called Shinto, but then a new religion, Buddhism, was introduced. This happened around the Asuka period. At this time, a conflict arose in Japan over whether to follow Shinto or Buddhism. The famous faction supporting Shinto was the Mananabi clan, and the famous faction supporting Buddhism was the Soga clan. So, the Mananabi clan tried to drive out this unfamiliar religion, Buddhism. But one of the monks who was driven away fled to Kakogawa. Following that monk in admiration was Prince Shotoku, and the temple built by him is Kakoranji Temple. If I had time, I would have liked to go inside properly, but it seems I'm short on time, so I won't be going in. It's written here that this is a sacred site of Prince Shotoku. It's quite an impressive place. As I mentioned earlier, this is a temple related to Prince Shotoku, and it is also known as the Horyuji of the West, Kakoranji Temple. Right in front of the entrance is the main hall. It's a prime example of an eclectic architectural style combining various influences. Although I haven't been able to see much of the interior, I'll now leave Kakoranji Temple and head off. The road right in front of me now is the former Takasago line path that I've been following. The right side is the way I came from, and the left side is the direction I'm heading now, toward Kakogawa Station. This visit to Kakogawa has shown more than just the Takasago line. There are several other abandoned rail lines here too, so it might be interesting to check the map and explore them yourself. It's easy to find them, just dig up old maps or photos, and from there, look for the paths of the old rail tracks. When you compare them to a current map, you'll see that some traces of the lines remain in the landscape. If you follow those, you can find the remains of the old lines. Railways are key to the flow of goods and people in a region. So by learning the history of the railway, you can understand the history of the area. By following the old railway lines like this, you can enjoy exploring in a different way. Now, as we continue a bit further, you'll come across a place where you can really feel that there used to be train tracks here. If you look to the left of the screen, you can still see some tracks remaining. We've now arrived at the site of Noguchi Station. The area where this object stands is where the Noguchi Station of the former Takasago line used to be. The station south of Noguchi Station is the Kakoranji Temple Station we saw earlier, and the station to the north is Kakogawa Station. It's written here that this is the site of the former Kokutetsu Takasago line Noguchi Station. Is there something on the back? Let's see. Oh, there's nothing. On the back of this sign, it talks about the history of Noguchi Station on the Takasago line. From its opening to its closure, it's all written here. Looking at the layout of the surrounding area, it seems like there really was a station here. The road layout suggests it. Maybe, it's hard to tell just by looking. It might be easier to understand if we look at a map from above. I think you see that the roads radiate outward from the station. It's likely that the roads were designed like this so people could easily access this area. That layout remains to this day. Now, let's head north in that direction. This way. I'll keep heading toward the city hall. So, let's depart from the Noguchi station site. Since the city hall was likely located around here, many people probably used this station. The next station is Kakogawa Station, so I'll head there non-stop. Now, as we go from here to Kakogawa, pay attention to the trees on both sides of the road. These trees, the sidewalk I'm currently on as well is very wide, as you can see. Plus, there's enough space to plant trees, meaning the road is unnaturally wide. So why is it so wide? I'll explain more a little further ahead. Let's keep going. The busy road we're about to cross is National Route 2. It's an important highway connecting Osaka and Kyushu. Naturally, it's one of the busiest roads in Kakogawa City. Now, you can see an elevated road ahead. That's the Sanyo main line. But the Sanyo main line wasn't always elevated. It used to pass below. As for the Takasago line I passed earlier, it ran above. The direction I came from was over there, and the slope climbed steeply from that direction, where it crossed over the elevated section here. So the roads I've been traveling on were lined with trees because they were built on embankments to create slopes, making the area wider. Now, looking back at the direction I came from, you can see the path of the former Takasago line. The line ends here at the Sanyo main line, where it gets cut off. Looking at the map, you can see that this is the direction I came from. And although it gets cut off here, if you look to the other side, you can see the curve of the tracks. You can almost see it, even though it's not actually visible. The houses are lined up in that direction, so you can still see traces of the line today. Let's keep following the path. I've made the map in the bottom right a bit easier to understand. The areas shaded lightly in red show where the tracks used to be. It's been a long time since the tracks were removed, so you can't walk on the old railway anymore. But when you look at the map, the shape of the land and the direction of the buildings tell you there was once a railway here. The clearest example is the residential area around the left-hand curve. You can see that the road I'm on now curves sharply to the left. This is because Kakogawa Station is to the left, and the tracks once curved in that direction. An even clearer example is this park here. There's an empty space with a curve, and this is right on top of the old tracks. If you keep going from here, you'll see another elevated track. This is the Kakogawa line. At this point, the Takasago line I've been following merges with the Kakogawa line, and together, they continue on until they reach Kakogawa Station. The merging point is this triangular empty space to the left. This is where the tracks used to be, and where the Takasago line and Kakogawa line merged. So, if you follow the elevated tracks, you'll arrive at Kakogawa Station. There are a lot of old photos displayed here, but I don't think explaining them all here would make much sense. So for now, I'll just take pictures of them and explain them later when we get there. So, we've arrived at Kakogawa Station. As you can see, the station has a modern look now, but based on what we saw earlier, around the late Taisho period, it looked like this, probably made of wood. This triangular roof was likely its distinctive feature. Looking over here, this is from around 1960. You can still see the triangular roof here too, and though it seems to be gone now, if you look over there, you can see a bit of its former appearance. This photo was likely taken from a similar angle, or so it seems. And this time, I mentioned that someone would be guiding us around Kakogawa. The person guiding us is from Sanken, which you see here. Though, that's just an advertisement, so the company isn't actually located there. We are currently at Kakogawa Station, and we'll be heading to the location marked with the red pin. We're heading there now. As I've been covering the history of various regions, recently I've had the opportunity to speak with people from construction companies who support the everyday life of these regions, which has been a wonderful experience. We've met up, so could you briefly introduce yourself and explain a bit about what kind of company Sanken is?
Sure. We are a housing company in Hyogo Prefecture, and I'm Aramaki, working in public relations for Sanken Company, Limited at Sanken. We pride ourselves on the performance of our homes and the high degree of customization we offer in our custom-built homes. We primarily operate in the Kakogawa and Himeji areas of Hyogo Prefecture. We look forward to working with you today.
Thank you. Let's start exploring Kakogawa. The road in front of your office is actually part of the Saigoku Highway, which surprised me. Did you all know that?
Yes, I think most people living in Kakogawa are quite aware of that.
Actually, just nearby, there's a historical site related to the highway, so let's head there first. We're currently heading east. Do you know where the Saigoku Highway leads if you go east?
It goes to Kyoto.
Typically, it leads to Kyoto or Osaka, as the Saigoku Highway has various start and end points, but Kyoto is often mentioned. Now, here's the first historical site I wanted to visit. We've arrived. It's called the body-splitting Jizo. There's even an origin story written here. The Saigoku Highway leads to Kyoto in this direction, but do you know where it leads if you head the other way?
Maybe Okayama?
That's right. In fact, the Saigoku Highway continues far beyond Okayama, depending on the era. In older times, it extended all the way to Dazaifu in Kyushu, which is in Fukuoka. That was considered the far end of the Saigoku Highway. During the Edo period, lords traveled this highway on foot during the Sanken Kotai system. You're probably familiar with this, but if you crossed in front of the lord's procession during Sanken Kotai, you could be cut down. According to legend, someone who deeply believed in this Jizo statue accidentally crossed in front of a lord's procession and was struck down by the samurai escort. The story goes that although he was cut in two, when he realized his own body was unharmed, and instead, the Jizo statue's body had been split in two. This site is believed to be where the Jizo protected him. I think, is it okay to go in here? Maybe we can see the back. From the front, it doesn't look like it's cut in half, but there does seem to be a mark where it was cut.
Ah, there it is. Is it a little below the knot?
Walking around here, you can feel that important people once walked this path. There are legends like this that remind us of that.
Most of the employees probably know that the body-splitting Jizo is here, but I don't think anyone knew the details. I didn't think it was actually split in two.
You don't often get the chance to see the back, after all. We're almost at the entrance to the Kakogawa Post Town on the Saigoku Highway. If we go further, we'll reach Kakogawa Post Town, a historical station town. Do you know what a station town is?
I've heard of it, but if asked to explain,
I'd say I understand the kanji for it. It's written with the characters for in place. Nowadays, we have bullet trains and planes. So when traveling, you can just stay in a hotel. But in the past, there were no planes or bullet trains. So people had to travel and stay overnight along the way. That's why lords, on their way to Edo, would stop and rest in places like this. That was the role Kakogawa played.
It's quite an impressive place, and many people come here to take pictures.
There are probably a lot of people who go on tours of post towns, and many come here to enjoy sightseeing. The closer you get to the city center, the more developed it is. So I think this area has the most remnants of the past. That's what I think. There's quite a bit of traffic here.
Yeah, surprisingly busy.
Usually, in places where post towns are located, new roads get built. Like here with National Route 2, and most people take those roads instead. So it's often empty.
Or used as a shortcut. Since the main roads get crowded, and there are a lot of one-way streets, you sometimes have to pass through here to get around.
Is there a famous local dish in Kakogawa?
Kakogawa is known for a soul food called katsumeshi. Actually, right in front of us, our employees often come here to eat lunch. It's rice topped with a cutlet, covered in demi-glace sauce, with cabbage on top as well.
It looks amazing, like this photo. What kind of cutlet is it? Pork?
It's beef.
Since it's a soul food, do a lot of people eat it?
Yes, many places serve katsumeshi around here. There was a shop on that corner, and the owner started serving katsumeshi. I've heard that's how it began spreading.
Is this the street in front of the station?
Yes. It's a fairly big road near the station.
Where are we now?
Right here on the street in front of the station, I believe.
If you look at the old map, there's a slight curve on the east side. I think this is where we are right now. So, it seems there was a road here, but there was a river on the other side. So there must have been a road over there in the past. This area is wide because the river was filled in, which left a lot of open space.
So, there was probably a bridge here?
Yes, a bridge passed through here. Further along, there was something called Ikarizuka. I wonder if it's still there? In other words, beyond here was the station town. And past this point, you would start seeing countryside landscapes. There's usually something called an Ikarizuka placed here. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
The character for Ichi means one, and Ri means village, but Ri is also a unit of measurement. The Ri here refers to a unit of distance.
So 1 ri is a unit of distance?
Yes, a distance unit. 1 ri is about 4 kilometers. The Ikarizuka marked every 4 kilometers, making it easy to see how far you've walked in a post town. A mound was placed to mark it. So, if there's one placed around here, it means after walking another 4 kilometers, there should be another Ikarizuka. In the past, the way land was divided was for tax purposes. They taxed based on the width of the property frontage. For example, this frontage here is probably about which is about 8 steps. Since 8 times 8 equals 64, it's around 6 meters wide. People wanted to make this width as small as possible.
If it were only 4 meters, it would be even better for tax purposes.
That's why houses were long and narrow. The depth wasn't taxed, so when you look around here, you can see that kind of old style remains.
Now that you mention it, everything seems to have a nostalgic charm.
This is often seen in post towns. We've walked past the Ikarizuka, and this river here is probably where the road used to be. So, there used to be a lot of rivers in this area. What is this? It's amazing.
I think it's a character representing the famous katsumeshi dish.
Is its face made of katsu?
It's called katsun in demi-chan.
Katsumeshi was invented right after World War II, at Iloha Shokudo in front of Kakogawa Station. That's where it started.
That shop was over there, the orange one.
Is it gone now?
Yes, it's gone now. The original shop closed, but a relative opened another shop on the other side of the train tracks. So now that shop is the main Iloha Shokudo.
That's probably why this is here.
Yes, that makes sense.
Since it's along the highway, this was likely the busiest road in the area back then.
That's right.
So if we go this way, we'll reach the station?
Yes.
So, when the railroad was built in modern times, this area prospered further.
Exactly.
The railroad became the new main street. But there was already an old main street, and this intersection was where the two crossed. This must have been one of the busiest spots.
Yes, exactly. It seems that this shopping street was very prosperous in the past. This shopping street is Jigetown. People would buy clothes or go out to have fun here. A bit further over was the Renbai market, which was also thriving.
What's the kanji for renbai?
Here it is.
It's the kanji for cheap and sell. I think I saw a photo of the Jikamachi shopping street earlier under the station. I remember seeing one. Is this it?
Yes, that's right. This was during a very prosperous time, right after the war, around the post-war Showa era.
Do you know about Ginza Street?
Ginza, you mean? No, I don't know about that. It seems like this area wasn't very prosperous back then. So, it's different from what it is now.
Let's look up Ginza.
There's a Jinzaya Honten.
Oh, really? It says Jinzaya Honten. Is this it? It seems like there was a Jinzaya, so maybe the street was named Ginza Street after that. Just a guess. So, I think this is exactly the place.
Yes,
That seems likely. The way the street curves is similar. And since it says Jikamachi Street, this is probably Jikamachi from the Meiji era.
yes, that's right.
Amazing. It's so different now. Is there a Jikamachi map?
Yes, there is.
If you have any recommended shops,
I sometimes go to Maruman, a noodle shop. It seems they have been around for quite a long time.
where are we now?
I think we are around here. So, we should be coming up on it now.
I think we are currently around this area. So there should be a river here. I think this is probably it. It should be around here, next to the dry cleaner and the shoe store. Which one is the dry cleaner? The shoe store is this one. Is it here?
Yes, that's right, according to the previous map.
I think it's this. This looks like the remains of a bridge to me. Maybe they reconstructed it?
It might be, yes.
It seems pointless otherwise. I think it's probably a river. This is it. Isn't our location here? If we head north, there should be a river.
It's true.
If we go south, there should be a river here as well.
Could it be that it runs underneath here?
I'm not sure. I can't hear it, but it probably does run underneath. The way it curves also looks like a river. Maybe not. There doesn't seem to be a visible place, but I think it's almost confirmed here. Since we were looking at this river, there should be another river beyond it, and the main station is past that. The main station is right in the middle of the post town. So crossing one more river would lead you to the center of the town. It was on the other side. The station is quite far over there, so the current center is over there, right?
Yes, that's right.
The vertical street is now the main street. It's interesting to see how the most prosperous areas change over time.
It's fascinating to observe these changes.
This is probably the river.
Yes, the big one. This is the udon shop, the one I mentioned earlier.
It's impressive.
I sometimes come here to eat udon.
Do you walk here quite often?
Yes, I do.
It's quite a distance.
I like udon, so I visit various udon shops around Kakogawa.
I think this area is where the Honjin was. It seems like it's all gone now. It's now been replaced with nice houses. I'd love to live here. The land here was quite spacious, so unlike the narrow places I mentioned earlier, I think this whole area used to be one big plot with new houses. It was probably designed for important guests to stay. This area is unusually clean, so it must have had space for that. Amazing. It's probably something from that time. I think it's quite rare to have an entrance like this here. Corners are indeed not very common.
Really?
I truly think this is rare. There was a famous pine tree here at Jojug. It was well known. This is it. There was a pine tree, and it says Jojug here. So, we are currently walking around this area. This means that in the past, people walking here probably looked like this in the Edo period. There were places like Botifori, but the townscape is quite impressive. Does it say Jinya, government office? Himeji Domain's Kakogawa office. This was established around the Edo period. It was created for the purpose of handling the passing and lodging of daimyo during the Sankin Kotai, alternate attendance system. Daimyo are powerful people, in other words.
I don't walk around here much.
Is that so? This is the map we saw earlier, and the current location is right here. It says government office, so this is the office we mentioned earlier. It says Kasatsuba, public notice place, here, which means there were high notices here. Do you know what a Kasatsuba is?
No, I don't.
There was a reason for placing high notices here. Beyond this point, the post town begins. People coming from Kyushu or Yamaguchi prefecture would be informed of the rules for the post towns ahead, so this was the place where such notices were placed as a Kasatsuba.
I see.
So from here on, is the post town. The area we're heading to now would have been open fields, so you can imagine it as such. It makes sense that it stops here. As we look, the Kasatsuba is right next to a river, so this must be a river too.
Wow.
This road is bending, isn't it?
It's bending exactly like that, and it's interesting to walk around while learning about these things. It is interesting. I didn't know any of this.
It changes your perspective. If you look at the roads, compared to this road, the roads stretching beside it are quite curved.
Indeed. I think it's the trace of a river. Looking at it this way, there were many rivers. There are so many.
If we go out from here, will we be in Kakogawa?
Yes, we will be.
Is that a levee?
Yes, it is a levee.
I see. We've arrived quite quickly. The reason for this bend might be defense related. In the past, there wasn't a road on this side.
Here?
Yes. The road on this side was added later. When entering a post town, they often curve like this, to make the entrance not visible from afar. I think this is a remnant of that practice.
Ah, I see. This area is relatively the main entrance.
What about this?
This is Route 2. Aside from the bypass, most traffic comes through here. So it gets very congested.
So the most traffic is here?
It's either here or the bypass. This is Kako River.
Yes, currently. So now people can cross here by car. It's easy to cross now, but in the past, it was not possible.
You couldn't cross?
No, there was no bridge.
So there was no bridge?
Yes, there was no bridge, so if the water level increased, you couldn't cross. So, if the water level was high, you would have to wait until the next day to cross. They had something called river closure. So, sometimes you couldn't cross for a week or more. So in the post town of Kako River, people often stayed because of that. That's why the town prospered. Back in the day, when there was no river, those stones are traces of where boats used to operate.
You mean those stones?
Yes, those stones. Boats used to depart from there.
I see.
It seems that it was destroyed once, and then rebuilt in that location. It's made similar to how it was back then.
So, when the water level was low, you could either cross or use a small boat.
Exactly. Some people might have crossed on foot or used a boat, but it was quite dangerous. So there were professionals who specialized in crossing the river. For example, they might carry people on their shoulders, or use a cart to transport them.
There were people who did that kind of work?
Yes, there were. So there were homes of those workers around here, and they would charge a fee to help people cross. They would then get people across the river. So, with that, our walk around the Kakogawa area is finished. How was it? As someone who works in Kakogawa,
It was a road I pass often, but hearing various stories and walking around, the way I see it has changed.
I think it's interesting to view different cities from various perspectives like this, so I recommend giving it a try. Please try it out. Apart from this video, there is also a video about Himeji, so please check that out as well. Thank you for today.
Thank you very much.